Hi guys, can you all see me and hear me? So welcome to the special class, and we will be doing BTR. Finally, BTR we are starting after waiting for so long. So I thought I would study after the match and I would teach, but neither could I study, and I don't know if I can teach. But let's see how it goes. एनीवेज या सो वी विल फॉरगेट अबाउट इट है ना ऐसी छोटी मोटी बातें तो लाइफ में चलती रहती है एनीवेज T20 क्रिकेट इज नॉट रियल क्रिकेट इज इट रियल क्रिकेट इज 50 ओवर मैच नो सो ये तो ऐसे ही था ये तो टाइम पास गेम दिस इज नॉट रियल क्रिकेट है ना सो 1 hour आई स्टडीड डेस्परेटली कि कुछ वी विल डू सो दैट इज व्हाट वी विल बी डूइंग होपफुली hopefully this will be useful because thankfully the topic that we want to discuss is hepatitis which is extremely conceptual है ना so we are starting off with hepatitis which is very conceptual तो इसको अच्छे से पढ़ लो तो you know you will get questions correct and NICT does give you like good tough questions and you get very nice questions from hepatitis in NEET and FMGE also हाँ ठीक है चलो फिर शुरू कर एक दो लाइन मैच के बारे में क्या ही बोले यार because you guys are kids no so such things come as trauma to you but if you have seen like 2003 World Cup of India Australia then this seems nothing कि ये तो ठीक है but just that you feel कि एक दो विकेट ही दे देते यार मतलब कुछ ज्यादा ही बुरा हो गया अगर जाते जाते एक दो विकेट भी दे जाते तो इट वुड हैव बीन स्टिल बेटर नो so that is the only regret which I have कि चलो जीत ही जाते but at least 1 or 2 wickets you could have given anyways चलो फिर एग्जाम पे फोकस करते हैं so that is what we are going to do that we are going to focus on the exam at hand so we have back to back classes now for tomorrow and day after also so I'll just quickly tell you the schedule BTR का मतलब means बुरी तरह रटो so those of you who don't know Hindi it means memorizing the most volatile topics okay so you guys already please see the first 9 BTRs which have already been done the links are all there right so unko miss nahi karna because I'm not including them and they are the most important ones right so usme cancer staging hai scores hai instruments hai everything developmental milestones IPC so you can't miss that right so if you cannot study I think it's quite easy or it's easier to at least see passive learning and classes hi dekh lo fine so this is what you can do yeah you can consider this BTR 10 same only yeah so consider this BTR 10 whatever but definitely do them how to find the links you can join the group which is radiology with Dr. Zainab Vora there's so many people who are live today probably everybody's trying to just distract themselves from the match uh, so yeah so you can find them join the group NEET PG with Dr. Zainab Vora uske bio mein na there are all of the links mer ke links MKT ke links BTR ke links so you will find them okay they're all free classes for everybody all right and after that you also have three this thing 11th hour revision videos so now you can just see them है ना so last 3 days if you don't want to study you don't want to do anything I think this is something that is a good go to कि खाली सारी BTRs कर लो and 3 11th hour वाले videos कर लो I will tell you V22 and I mean 22 means version 22 this is 2022 right so basically so that you do not confuse this with OG BTR part 1 this is just version 22 so as to avoid confusion I added but it is probably adding to the confusion but whatever yeah so we are just gonna start so this is gonna be about this so let's quickly begin before that I'll tell you the plan so one more class is there today itself आज ही कर ले एक और class 10 o'clock will you guys study 10 to 11 so that we don't have 3 classes tomorrow है ना वरना कल 3 हो जाएंगी so 10 to 11 आज कर लेते उसमें मैं CPR BLS ACLS पढ़ा दूंगी along with other important topics then tomorrow we have 2 more BTR so in one of them I was thinking we'll do like an amazing 1 hour revision of entire micro do you want to do just flowchart and revise entire micro है ना तो वो बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा we'll do bacterio viro parasito and fungo in like 2 to 2 slides and we'll quickly revise that along with entomology wale machhar and all right so that is what we'll do in one of those BTRs and third maybe we'll include some high yield topics okay so that is the plan physio तो बहुत मुश्किल है because physio अभी last moment कहाँ concept करने जाएंगे right now we need to do most high yield stuff right we can't just sit and do concepts at this point. Physio का ये time नहीं है. This time is for micro, pharma, biochemistry. You know, that is what you have to do at this point. Okay, shall we begin then very quickly? Let's start with viral hepatitis, something which is very important. Tomorrow, yeah, 2 classes would be 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. हाँ, कल से तो कुछ है नहीं लाइफ में. So 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. tomorrow. Alright, चलो फिर शुरू करते हैं viral hepatitis. So just this graph, there's a repeat question wherein you've been asked कि ये कौन सा graph किसको depict कर रहा है, isn't it? So the first thing that will be rising, which is a marker ki infection hua hai. So what is this? Always the antigen is going to come first. Yes. So before E, how can E antigen come first? E is something which is going to come from the infectivity, right? From the replication. So sabse pehla hai ki surface antigen aa jayega. So this is going to be HBS antigen, which is the first marker. So agar koi puche ki sabse pehle kya aa raha hai, even before the symptoms are coming, even before viral markers, I mean the liver function tests are getting deranged, we are having HBsAg. So that is going to be blue. Now, before we go into the second and third, I want you to focus on one thing, that HBsAg and iska antibody will never coexist. इनकी बनती नहीं एक दूसरे के साथ. तो only when this dies, antigen गया, person is recovered, only then I will have antibody. So what is this dark blue line? This is anti-HBs antigen, right? So this is anti-HBs. So basically, जब तक HBs antigen है, I will say that I have infection. The moment I have anti-HBs, I will say that I have recovered. So I could have either recovered from the infection or I could have gotten vaccinated, है ना? तो या तो वैक्सीन मिला है जिसके कारण से एंटीबॉडी बन गया, या इन्फेक्शन से रिकवरी हो गई. So in some form of the other, my body has fought hepatitis B, isn't it? ये मेरी जीत का मार्कर है, that I have recovered or I have been vaccinated and now I have produced antibody successfully. So ये दो चीजें हैं. They will never coexist. All right, they will never coexist. So this is for FMGE also, Abhishek. It's not like a different BTR for different exam. It's topic wise, right? So all of the BTRs for every exam. Don't worry about that. And there is one brief period where I would neither be able to see HBsAg, neither the recovery has started. So that is called window period. ये बात याद रखो. Apart from this, there is something which is now, once it begins, it is gonna be there for your life. What is that? That is core. Does your core, your soul ever leave you? Core कभी नहीं जाता है ना. That's why your core has to be strong. जिम में यही करते हैं, core को strong बनाओ, because core is going to be there for your lifetime. So what is this? This is going to be your core antigen or antibody. This is always going to be antibody, right? So this is going to be anti-HBC. So remember that core का antigen कभी नहीं आता. So this is going to be anti-HBC, and this is what is a repeat question कि ये क्या है. So do not remember any mnemonic or anything, just something which is going to remain all the time. It's going to be HBC. इसमें क्या है? जब acute infection है तो IgM, जब chronic infection हो गया तो IgG. Just that, no other interpretation. The moment you see IgM anti-HBC, you are in an acute phase of the infection. The moment you see IgG, the diagnosis के option में जो word ढूंढना है, that's going to be chronic. Okay, so HBC antibody always going to be there. So it's going to be acute and chronic. Yeah, 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour. Okay, about this. Now there is only one marker जिसका कोई role नहीं है except for its infectivity. मतलब, which is HBe antigen. So can you see this chotu here? This chotu sa graph is HBe antigen. The moment I see HBe antigen means that the person is infective. The replication is going on at a fast rate. So this is a marker of viral replication and infectivity. बस इसका और कोई diagnosis पे role नहीं है except for the infectivity. And इसका correlate HBe antigen नहीं है, but anti-HBe है, antibody है. इसका मतलब क्या है? What about doubt? All right. Abhi baki topics, FMG videos and everything I will post. Right now I want full focus on hepatitis, because if this goes wrong, you will never understand it. So abhi ke abhi samajh lo, it's very easy. Okay. And anti-HB matlab low infectivity. Bas. No questions asked. Agar antigen hai to high infectivity, antibody hai to non-infective, low infectivity. Bas. To itna yaad rakhna hai. So what did I know? The moment there is HBs antigen means there is infection. How do I decide whether there is acute infection or chronic infection? I see HBC. अगर HBC में IgM है तो acute, IgG है तो क्रॉनिक। द मोमेंट आई सी एंटी HBS मतलब हमारी जीत है, वी हैव रिकवर्ड, या तो वैक्सीन से जीत गए या इन्फेक्शन से जीत गए। और HBE का क्या मतलब है, एंटीजन है तो हाई इन्फेक्टिव, एंटीबॉडी है तो लो इन्फेक्टिव। दिस इज हाउ वी हैव टू डू, जस्ट लाइक मैथ्स। सो नाउ आई एम गोना शो यू ऑल परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन एंड नाउ यू विल टेल मी कि मैम इसका डायग्नोसिस ये है एंड दिस इज व्हाट कम्स इन द एग्जाम। सो अक्यूट मार्कर मींस IgM HBC ऐसे पहचानेंगे। सो सबसे पहला देखो HBS एंटीजन है मतलब हेपेटाइटिस है, एंड IgM एंटी HBC है, इसका मतलब क्या है, दिस मींस दैट देयर इज अक्यूट हेपेटाइटिस बी, हाई इन्फेक्टिविटी लो इन्फेक्टिविटी। ई एंटीजन भी पॉजिटिव है मतलब हाई इन्फेक्टिविटी। नेक्स्ट HBS एंटीजन है मतलब इन्फेक्शन है, IgG है मतलब क्रॉनिक हेपेटाइटिस है, हाई इन्फेक्शन लो इन्फेक्शन, हाई इन्फेक्शन। आर यू सीइंग, दीज आर म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव। अगर HBS एंटीजन है तो ये नहीं हो सकता, अगर ये है तो ये नहीं हो सकता, दीज आर गोना बी म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव। तो यहाँ क्या बन गया हमारा, क्रॉनिक हेपेटाइटिस बी एंड अगेन हाई इन्फेक्टिविटी बिकॉज ई एंटीजन पॉजिटिव है। लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट द थर्ड कैटेगरी, HBS एंटीजन इज पॉजिटिव, IgM is there मतलब acute hepatitis, but now anti-HBE is positive, तो मैं क्या लिखूं, acute hepatitis B with what infectivity, with low infectivity, correct। तो अभी यहाँ पे एक ब्रेक मारते हैं, ठीक है, इतना समझ में आ गया सबको, यस यू विल सॉल्व दिस। नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम बिलो, नीचे से देखते हैं। एवरीथिंग इज नेगेटिव जस्ट anti-HBS is positive, इसका क्या मतलब है, no sign of infection, the moment I don't see this means infection तो नहीं हुआ, hepatitis is not come, so only when I have only this means I have won from vaccination, I am not won from infection, because infection marker मेरा जो हमेशा होने वाला है, core is only not there, so the moment I see core is absent means infection ही नहीं है, क्योंकि infection का core is very important, so this means that he has not recovered, he has gotten a vaccine, so this is a post vaccination status and he is protected, ठीक है, wonderful। अब बताओ नेक्स्ट, एंटी HBS इज पॉजिटिव एंड IgG इज देयर, दिस इज प्लस माइनस, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि वो रिकवर कर गया है, इजंट इट, सो ही हैज रिकवर्ड फ्रॉम एन इन्फेक्शन, अब उसका कोर भी है एंड उसका HBS एंटीबॉडी भी है, सो ही हैज रिकवर्ड फ्रॉम इन्फेक्शन, वेरी नाइस। देन नेक्स्ट देखते हैं, IgG दिस इज देयर एंड देन नथिंग एल्स इज देयर, इसका मतलब क्या है, that there is no infection, ना HBS AG है ना anti HBS, infection के सारे सबूत मिट गए हैं, only anti HBS, so can I say there are two possibilities here, what are the two possibilities, one is that he was positive in the very remote past, बहुत ही time पहले की antibody antigen every story is gone, so he has probably recovered from a remote past का infection, second is that he is a chronic carrier, chronic carrier is also another option where you can have IgG, IgG मतलब chronic and carrier means he's carrying some sort of an infection but it is still something which is retaining, so this is going to be something that you can see in a chronic carrier as well, all right, so या तो remote past में हो गया या chronic carrier हो गया, all right, that is what you want to remember, but one thing that you will usually see in a chronic carrier is what, in a chronic carrier usually HBS AG would be positive, all right, so this is one thing, अगर HBS AG positive है and IgG positive hai, then we will think on terms of chronic carrier, otherwise this is more likely to be in the form of a remote past, all right, so yahi basically rather than writing here just remember this ki chronic carrier mein ye dono cheeze positive aayegi, why not window period, a lot of you saying window period, if it is window period remember we will have IgM positive, we will not have IgG because tab tak aayega nahi, all right, so in the window period what will you see, this is the thing that I will see, so this is what I will see in the window period wherein I have IgM positive, okay, a lot of you saying pre-core mutant, remember pre-core mutant का इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है, pre-core mutant is something which does not produce HB, एक तो ये इंडिया में स्ट्रेन नहीं मिलता, this is seen a lot in Russia and उसके around, so that is where I will not see HB antigen only, उसमें इसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है, understanding, there it is not like I will not see HBS antigen, understanding, so that is what you have to remember, fine, where HBV DNA is positive, correct, but आपका HBE antigen comes out to be negative, so do not worry about pre-core mutant, that variant doesn't arise here, therein basically you will not have HBE antigen in the picture, everything else remains same, so do not get confused because उसका आपको question से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, all right, so this is about window period, and finally look at this is an enigma, which will usually not be put up to you. तो ये देखो इसमें क्या हो रहा है, something contradictory where HBS antigen is there and antibody is also there, and I have a positive anti-HBC. What is this? Can this exist? So this is a very rare thing. This is like a case report वाला thing. Alright, तो case report वाला thing मतलब is an enigma. तो ये कब हो सकता है? If I ask you, is this possible? It is possible very rarely if you have a heterotypic infection. Let's say somebody got a vaccine. उसको vaccine मिल चुका है, so उसके पास क्या आ जाएगा? उसके पास HBS antibody आ जाएगा, and now he is getting infected with some other strain of hepatitis B. Very rare कि ऐसा अलग सा strain आ गया. So in a heterotypic infection, now it is possible कि अब उसके पास HBS antigen plus IgM of HBC is coming. Are you understanding? So this is the only rare case report phenomenon where both can coexist. So very, very quickly, let's repeat. Anytime I see HBS antigen positive and HBC positive, अगर IgM है तो acute hepatitis B, chronic है, अगर IgG है तो chronic hepatitis B, E positive है antigen तो infective, अगर antibody positive है तो low infectivity. So यहाँ तक everybody understood. Then again easy, only anti-HBS is there, vaccination. If anti-HBS is there and you have some sign कि अच्छा infection था पहले, means recovered from infection. When nothing is there from HBS, but only my core is there. Core का मतलब है कि everything, that story is over. Remote past में उसको हुआ था. And if you have one extra option I gave you कि IgG HBC है, HBC antibody of IgG is there and you have HBS antigen. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब है that you are a carrier, right? So that you are a chronic carrier basically क्योंकि IgG है. Got it? So this is how basically we are going to be approaching this. Got it? So this is how we will decide. So now the questions. Now I'm going to give you the questions which will again basically test and make you question कि क्या मुझे सही में समझ आया? So now let's look at this. I am giving you the profile and you tell me the diagnosis, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer this, okay? Okay, everybody mixing it up. So see, there are other hepatitis also, isn't it? There are other hepatitis also which exist. So look at this. Anti-HIV is negative. Anti-HIV IgG is positive. मतलब he is immune against hepatitis A. Can I interpret as this कि वो immune है, IgG antibodies है hepatitis A के against. Fine, that story is over. Now let's focus on hepatitis B. Hepatitis B को लेके इसका क्या scene है? Antigen is negative, E antigen is also negative. IgG of this is positive. ठीक है, मतलब core है, somewhere he has had the infection. But is there anything else? बाकी कुछ नहीं है. So इसका मतलब क्या है? That remote past में उसको हुआ है, isn't it? Now that story is completely over because ना antigen है ना antibody है. Nothing is there, isn't it? So remote past है उसको hepatitis B. That is not what this pregnant lady is having right now. She has had hepatitis B in the past, but अभी उसका इस वजह से liver failure नहीं हो रहा. Understanding? But now look, let's look further. HCV antibody negative, so Hep C का story नहीं है. Now look here, anti-HEV IgM is positive. So this is a very, very simple story which is saying me that she is right now having acute fulminant hepatitis because of Hep E. हमने गलती क्या करी? Hepatitis E सुनते ही हमारे मन में HBE antigen आ गया, isn't it? We started to think of low infectivity and all of that, isn't it? So that is the mistake. Why did all of you get this wrong? हाँ, अब समझ में आ रहा है कि ये क्यों गलत हुआ यार? Ultimately this में कुछ नहीं था, was timeless. That's why you got it wrong. हाँ, टाइम कम था. हाँ ठीक है. इंडिया आज क्यों हारा? बिकॉज इंडियन इज यूके प्राइम मिनिस्टर, उसको हमें जिताना था इसलिए इंडिया हारा है ना. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स वी टेल आवरसेल्व्स कि मैम टाइम कम था वरना तो हमें आता था. वाज टाइम नीडेड? द टाइम वाज ओनली नीडेड टू सी दिस हेपेटाइटिस ई आईजीएम इज पॉजिटिव. अपने को ये देखना था, अक्यूट फुलमिनेंट हेपेटाइटिस देखना था, मार सकते थे, इजंट इट? Acute hepatitis E with chronic hepe. It is not chronic hepe. Hepe doesn't work like hepatitis B. Hepe is either you are immune or you are infected. है ना, उसमें ऐसा chronic infection का फंडा ही नहीं है. Hepatitis A and hepatitis E are either acute infection या you are immune. मतलब अगर ये बंदे को रिकवर कर गई, this pregnant lady, if she recovers, now she will have anti-HEV IgG for life. समझ रहे हो? इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि उसको chronic infection है. Hepe and Hepi कभी chronic होता ही नहीं है. Understanding? So this is how we are gonna answer this. I hope this is clear now. ठीक है, अब जाते हैं आगे. नाउ टेल मी दिस अगेन, दिस वाज वेरी कंट्रोवर्शियल क्वेश्चन. इसके ऑप्शंस भी क्लियर नहीं थे. दिस केम इन November 21 and nobody knows. So let's approach this together. We'll rule out and we'll approach it. So what do we have here? Hepatitis B antigen is negative, core is positive, IgG core is positive, मतलब कुछ ना कुछ इन्फेक्शन जरूर हुआ है. Anti HBC IgM is negative, fair enough. Anti HBs antibody is also negative, मतलब सब कुछ ही नेगेटिव है, बस कोर प्रेजेंट है. इसका मतलब क्या है? प्री कोर म्यूटेंट की बात मैंने क्या बोला था? प्री कोर म्यूटेंट में कुछ भी ऐसा है? प्री कोर म्यूटेंट इज व्हेन यू हैव इन्फेक्शन बट ई का लेना देना नहीं, तो ये तो आ ही नहीं रहा. दिस इज व्हेन कोर इज ओनली प्रेजेंट, मतलब कभी ना कभी तो उसको इन्फेक्शन हुआ, राइट? सो दिस इज रिकवर्ड फ्रॉम इन्फेक्शन. व्हाई आर यू ऑल सेइंग विंडो? विंडो पीरियड में कौन सा मिलेगा बच्चों? वी विल गेट IgM. डू नॉट गेट दिस रॉन्ग. अभी भी सब लोग गलत कर रहे हैं, सो डू नॉट गेट दिस रॉन्ग. विंडो पीरियड तो हो ही नहीं सकता. क्रॉनिक कैरियर हम इसलिए रूल आउट कर रहे हैं बिकॉज एनी HBS इज नॉट देयर. अंडरस्टैंडिंग? क्योंकि कोई HBS नहीं है ना. फॉर कैरियर आई शुड हैव सम HBS ऑल्सो. नहीं समझ में आ रहा? See, same, no, this is from our table only. Table में तो सब समझ गए थे कि when only this is there, this is this scenario. Only when this is there and everything else is negative, मतलब उसको कभी ना कभी remote past में infection हुआ है. Recovered is अभी recovery हुई. So when you have immediately recovered, जैसे मेरा अभी I was admitted and now I have recovered, means I will have anti-HBs also. Way in the past when I have recovered, all of hepatitis B's का story will be over. Understanding? Then I will only have the core. Fine. So this is what. If he has recovered in the remote past, समझ रहे हो? बहुत पहले तो एंटीबॉडी भी नहीं बचेगा. सो हियर ऑब्वियसली दे नीड टू गिव अस सम सॉर्ट ऑफ अ हिस्ट्री कि यार रिमोट पास्ट. इसीलिए ये प्रॉब्लमैटिक क्वेश्चन था बिकॉज दे हैव नॉट गिवन अस रिमोट पास्ट. गॉट इट? तो ये है ऐसा. फाइन. नाउ टेल मी दिस. Again, now this will make sense. Person was exposed to hepatitis B. Which of the following markers will always be present? उसके core की बात आ गई, anti-HBC. IgG अगर long term में, window period मतलब IgM. Fine. Okay, one more question. All of these are Rains repeat questions. So just like urethral injury and all, this is always getting asked. So अब बताओ chronic hepatitis B serology. Chronic hep B मतलब infection है. So what should be the case with HBs antigen? ये तो positive होना चाहिए. तो इनको निकाल देते हैं, right? Positive होना चाहिए. Why are still people answering A and B? It can't be A and B. Then chronic hepatitis B है, तो ये दो तो positive है. If this is positive, this has to be negative. तो फाइन, दिस इज ऑल्सो क्लियर. क्रॉनिक है तो IgM होगा, IgG होगा, IgG होगा. HBV DNA is positive, right? So why are these questions, both options C and D are same? Yeah, that's what the confusion. Here if I give you IgM, then what is the answer? If I give you IgM, then what is the answer? Then it has to be D. Fine, got it? So question ka galti. Okay, so this is gonna be D. Got it, everybody? So this is how we are gonna be approaching the questions. Okay, so this is what when to do. Usually everywhere it will be done. HBV DNA भी बाद में करेंगे. Chronic में HBs antigen क्यों रहेगा? See, because it is still infection, right? This is still infection, which you are seeing. So जब तक infection है, HBs antigen will be positive. If it is recovered, है ना, इसीलिए शुरू का concept very important. If you have recovered, फिर anti-HBs positive आएगा. Okay, so basically just इसका और questions कर लो. Just listen to this part one more time and then do some more questions and it will be clear. But mostly this is the gist. खाली इतना दो चीजें कर लो तो हो जाना चाहिए. Okay, right? So this is what that we need to do. Just one extra bonus table for you because hepatitis B and hepatitis C के correlations are very, very important. Okay, hepatitis B associated with aplastic anemia, more importantly, membranous and PAN, very, very important. Medium vessel vasculitis, PAN, hepatitis B. Hep C, C से याद रखो cryoglobulinemia, the most important thing. उसके अलावा NHL, ITP के साथ more common is Hep C. So remember, ITP is Hep C, but aplastic anemia is Hep B. उसके अलावा both membranoproliferation, leucoclastic, very important, PCT, lichen planus. These are the three जो circle किया, cryoglobulinemia, PCT, lichen planus. These get asked a lot of times, which are relations of hepatitis B and C. तो ये अच्छा table है. Okay, fine.